She is the worst offensive player.
She's not very offensive competent, bro.
Caitlin Clark laughing at Angel Reese's missed layup.
Generational meme.
To lose the game. Here it is. Here's the video. She can rebound everything, but bro.
Angel Reese, possibly the greatest basketball player in the history of America. Oh, wow. Look at those moves. Yeah, that shot is really hard with the hoop wide open.
Who's the best player in the country?
I feel like I'm the best player in the country.
WNBA draft. The Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
Breaking, the WNBA world just got another Angel Reese shock. Angel Reese was supposed to be one of the biggest reasons the Atlanta Dream could make a serious playoff run. Instead, the last few days have delivered an emotional roller coaster that has fans asking one question. What is really happening with Angel Reese in Atlanta? After the Dream's heartbreaking overtime loss to Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, Reese admitted that one missed layup affected her so badly that she couldn't sleep. She replayed the moment over and over in her head, believing she had let her team down. But then something remarkable happened. Just days later, Reese came back against the Las Vegas Aces and delivered a monster performance, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists and 4 steals, helping Atlanta defeat Las Vegas 97-82. So why are fans saying the Atlanta Dream made a shocking decision involving Reese? Because the real story isn't necessarily that Atlanta is pushing her away. It's almost the opposite. The Dream traded 2 first-round picks to acquire Reese from Chicago earlier this year, making it clear that they viewed her as a foundational piece of their future. And after everything that's happened recently, one thing is becoming impossible to ignore. Angel Reese isn't running from the pressure. She's fighting through it. But the emotional question remains. After everything she's been through, what decision will Atlanta make next? When the Atlanta Dream acquired Angel Reese in April 2026, it wasn't a minor roster move. It was a statement. Atlanta gave Chicago first-round picks in 2027 and 2028 in exchange for Reese, along with the right to swap second-round picks in 2028. Think about that. Teams don't make that kind of investment in a player they consider temporary. They do it when they believe that player can become part of the franchise's identity. And Atlanta had plenty of reasons to believe in Reese. She had already become a 2-time WNBA All-Star. She had won a national championship at LSU. And she had established herself as one of the league's premier rebounders and front-court players. Then came another confirmation. Reese was selected as a 2026 WNBA All-Star reserve, making her an All-Star in each of her first 3 WNBA seasons. So when people talk about Atlanta making a shocking decision on Reese, we need to remember the bigger picture. The Dream didn't bring her to Atlanta to sit quietly on the sidelines. They brought her because they believed she could help take the franchise to another level. And that pressure is enormous. Because now every bad game becomes a conversation. Every missed shot becomes a viral clip. Every confrontation becomes a headline. And every mistake gets compared to Caitlin Clark. That comparison has followed Reese since college. The rivalry between Clark and Reese became one of the biggest stories in women's basketball. And on August 16th, the two stars met again when Indiana defeated Atlanta 95-91 in overtime. For Reese, the ending was brutal. Atlanta had a chance to win in regulation. And Reese missed a layup that could have given the Dream the victory. Instead, the game went to overtime. Indiana took control. And suddenly, Reese became the center of attention. Not because she had played badly overall, but because one moment had become bigger than the entire game. That's the brutal reality of professional sports. You can play hard for 39 minutes. You can rebound.
a key three. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, ATL is going to actually win this game. And then we get down to the end of regulation, you guys. And I'm like, okay, Ron Howard, open three. She's going to hit it. No, she does not. Angel, you got it. Put back layup, game winner. No. And then Nas again caught it, put it up. No. I'm just like, oh my God, like, are we serious? How does that happen? And all of you guys, baby, my girl, Angel, all right, back up off her, okay? Like, back up off of Angel. We know that she missed.
You can defend. You can battle. But if the final moment goes wrong, that's what people remember. And Reese admitted the miss stayed in her head. She said she barely slept. She replayed the play repeatedly. She felt like she had let her teammates down. For someone as competitive as Reese, that reaction tells us everything. She cares. Maybe too much. But instead of disappearing after the criticism, she did something else. She showed up. And that's where the story gets even more interesting. The reaction to Reese's missed layup was immediate. Social media exploded. Some fans defended her. Others criticized her. And the rivalry narrative returned almost instantly because cameras captured Caitlin Clark appearing to smile after the missed opportunity. That moment became another viral piece of the Clark-Reese storyline. But Reese had a choice. She could allow the criticism to consume her. Or she could answer it on the court. She chose the second option. Her next major opportunity came against the Las Vegas Aces. And this time, Reese looked completely different. She was aggressive, focused, physical, and productive. She finished with 21 points and 10 rebounds, along with 4 assists and 4 steals. More importantly, Atlanta won. The Dream defeated the Aces 97-82. And the victory ended Atlanta's 7-game losing streak against Las Vegas. That wasn't just a normal bounce-back game. It was a response. Reese had just admitted that she felt she had let her team down. Then she walked into one of the toughest environments in the league and helped Atlanta win. That tells us something about her mentality. She wasn't pretending the previous mistake didn't happen. She didn't erase it. She didn't blame everyone else. She used it. That's what makes the Atlanta situation so fascinating. Because if the Dream were genuinely unhappy with Reese, this would be a completely different story. But the evidence points toward Atlanta continuing to build around her. The organization acquired her at a huge cost. They've given her a major role. And she's already making franchise history. Earlier in August, Reese set an Atlanta Dream single-season rebounding record, reaching 384 rebounds. That's not a player the franchise is casually moving away from. That's a player becoming part of its history. And yet the criticism continues. Why? Because Reese's offensive efficiency has become a major talking point. She has struggled with her shooting at times, and critics often focus on her missed layups or perimeter shooting rather than the rest of her game. But basketball isn't just shooting. Reese's rebounding has been elite. Her defensive impact has been significant. And she creates second chances for her team. So perhaps the shocking decision isn't about Atlanta giving up on Angel Reese. Perhaps the real decision is whether Atlanta is willing to build its next era around her strengths while helping her improve her weaknesses. And that is a much bigger question. Because Atlanta didn't trade for Reese expecting perfection. They traded for potential. And now they are finding out just how much pressure comes with that potential. There's another reason Angel Reese has become such a major storyline in Atlanta. She doesn't simply play basketball. She generates attention. Every game she plays attracts discussion. And when she faces Caitlin Clark, the attention becomes enormous. The August 16th matchup between Atlanta and Indiana proved that. The Fever's 95-91 overtime victory was reportedly the most-watched WNBA game on cable for a regular season or postseason game, averaging 2.6 million viewers, and peaking at around 4 million. That's incredible exposure. And Reese was at the center of it. But there is a downside. When millions of people are watching, every mistake becomes magnified. A missed layup isn't just a missed layup anymore. It becomes a meme, a debate, a comparison, a talking point. And suddenly, an athlete's confidence can be affected by something that happened in a fraction of a second. Reese openly admitted that the missed opportunity stayed with her. That emotional honesty made the situation even more relatable. Because professional athletes are often expected to behave as if nothing bothers them. But Reese admitted it hurt. She admitted she couldn't sleep. And then she responded. That's why the latest Atlanta decision should be viewed through a different lens. The Dream have a choice. They can treat Reese like a player who needs to be protected from criticism. Or they can treat her like a franchise cornerstone who needs to learn how to handle enormous pressure. The second approach may be more difficult. But it could also produce a much stronger player. And Atlanta's recent performances suggest Reese is already learning. Against Las Vegas, she didn't allow the previous game to define her. She attacked the boards. She defended. She scored. She created plays. And she helped the Dream win. The result wasn't just personal redemption. It was a team victory. And that matters. Because Reese's biggest challenge isn't beating Caitlin Clark. It isn't proving social media wrong. It isn't winning every online argument. It's helping Atlanta win basketball games. That's what the Dream acquired her for. And if she can become more efficient offensively while maintaining her elite rebounding and defensive impact, the ceiling becomes extremely high. The Dream already have other stars around her. Ryan Howard, Alicia Gray, Jordan Canada, Breonna Jones, and now Reese. Atlanta has built a roster capable of competing with some of the strongest teams in the league. The organization even re-signed several core players earlier this year, emphasizing continuity and a championship pursuit. So the decision facing Atlanta isn't whether Angel Reese belongs. The real decision is, how far can they take her? And perhaps even more importantly, how much responsibility are they willing to give her? Because if Atlanta believes Reese is part of the future, they may have to accept the good with the bad. The rebounds, the blocks, the double-doubles, the missed shots, the emotional moments, the viral controversies. All of it. That's what comes with building around a superstar. So let's answer the biggest question. Is Angel Reese really being pushed out by the Atlanta Dream? Based on the available evidence, there is no credible indication that Atlanta is preparing to move her out. In fact, the evidence points in the opposite direction. Atlanta traded significant draft capital to acquire her. The organization described her as a dynamic talent and a perfect fit for what it was building. She was selected as an all-star. She's setting franchise rebounding records. And she's continuing to play a major role for a team fighting near the top half of the WNBA standings. That's not the profile of a player the organization is abandoning. It's the profile of a player the organization expects to grow. And perhaps that's the part fans should focus on. Angel Reese doesn't have to be perfect right now. She's still developing. Her offensive game can improve. Her shooting can improve. Her decision-making can improve. But her rebounding is already elite. Her defensive energy is undeniable. And her competitiveness is obvious. The biggest challenge may actually be mental. Can Reese learn to separate one bad moment from the rest of the game? Can she stop replaying mistakes? Can she understand that one missed layup doesn't define an entire season? That's the next step. Because if she can do that, Atlanta could have something special. The Dream aren't simply trying to win one game. They are trying to build a contender. And Reese could be one of the central pieces of that plan. The emotional moment after the Fever loss may therefore have been less of an ending and more of a turning point. She said she felt like she let her team down. Then she responded with one of her strongest performances of the season. That's resilience. And resilience may ultimately become more important than perfection. So when you see headlines claiming, Atlanta Dream makes a shocking decision on Angel Reese, remember the bigger picture. The actual story isn't that Atlanta has publicly announced some dramatic separation from Reese. The actual story is that Reese is under enormous pressure. The Dream have invested heavily in her future, and she's responding to criticism by trying to become better. And that's why the next few games matter so much. Because every rebound will matter. Every defensive stop will matter. Every offensive improvement will matter. And every time Reese faces Caitlin Clark, the spotlight will become even brighter. The rivalry will continue. The debates will continue. The viral clips will continue. But Angel Reese now has an opportunity to control the narrative. Not with an Instagram post. Not with an interview. Not with a response to critics. With basketball. And if her latest performance against Las Vegas is any indication, she may already be writing the next chapter. The tears and disappointment may have been real. But so was the comeback. And perhaps that's the real story fans should be watching. Angel Reese isn't finished. She may only be getting started. So, what do you think about Angel Reese's latest situation in Atlanta? Was the pressure finally getting to her after that heartbreaking loss to Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever? Or did that emotional moment become the motivation she needed to come back stronger? Because what happened next was impressive. Reese didn't hide from the criticism. She didn't let one missed opportunity define her. Instead, she returned to the court and delivered a huge performance against Las Vegas, helping the Atlanta Dream get a major win. And that's why the future is so interesting. Do you believe Angel Reese can become the face of the Atlanta Dream? Or does she still have too much to prove before Atlanta can truly build around her? Drop your honest opinion in the comments, and tell me whether you think Reese is about to have her biggest season yet. If you enjoyed this breakdown, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next WNBA update. Because with Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, and the Atlanta Dream, the drama is only getting started.